Hi, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful opportunity for everybody to learn a little bit more, to expand ourselves, to bring new things into our practice, and to really understand that, we are always growing and we always need more information, and that there's so much more that other healthcare practitioners can bring to our practice. So today I wanted to speak to you a little bit about hacking your comfort zone. We are all so incredibly stuck in our ways and in our routines. And, once we've learned what we need to learn, we kind of just to go on repeat. But really, we are all just creatures of habit, and we like to avoid those things that cause us pain and anything risky or uncomfortable. And because of this, we spend a lot of our time living within our comfort zone, and that's away from where all the magic happens. So what if instead you created a daily habit of believing something that's different and began getting curious about life outside of the comfort zone? What if there's more to what you're doing? Because let's be honest, we live in a world filled with amazing things and experiences and people. Now imagine the infinite possibilities we're missing out on if we choose to stay in our comfort zone. What if it isn't nearly as scary to step out of your comfort zone as you believed? And what if this habit is merely keeping you from reaching your potential, and instead you're choosing to stay safe and comfortable and playing small? And what if it were easy? You see, comfort zones keep us safe, but the growth and delight lie just outside that comfort zone. So just think about it. Have you ever said no to opportunities because you felt fearful, or maybe not good enough, or don't know enough? This is a very comfortable comfort zone choice. And do you ever, in your practice or in your daily activities, have desires that are so deep that you really feel you need to start unlocking, but your mind keeps poking you and the thoughts around them never fade, and they just need to come out? And it leads you to a point of frustration because you just have to keep on going about your daily stuff because that's what you have to, you must, or you should. And so you stay quiet because it's more comfortable in your comfort zone. And a lot of the time we are wishing there's more to life. There is always more to life. And yet we can't find it because we don't allow ourselves to step out of the comfort zone. So today I'm just going to explore this concept of the comfort zone and how you have the power to take yourself out of the comfort zone into a life of beautiful possibilities. So we've had this time, or are having this time together on conference, to explore our thoughts around our practices, to bring in new tools, to create new perceptions, to become open to possibilities. And we've heard our beautiful speakers speaking about the many ways that you can use new information and bring it into your practice. But now really is the time for change. For some of you, change is like putting your foot on the accelerator and just really going forward fast. And for others, it's a slow and gentle integration. But what you have to know is that change in the world starts with us. And no matter how that growth looks, none of us is the same, and that's okay. We're designed for personal growth and change, and we can adapt, we can survive, and we can make the best of it. And our very physical chemical makeup helps us to achieve this. We know this as kinesiologists. So for some perspective, think about how far we've come as a society in the last 200 years. Our lives are hardly recognizable, to what our forefathers and ancestors had to deal with and bear with. So it's evidence we can change, we can grow, and we definitely can step out of our comfort zone. And our ancestors had to step out of their comfort zone. So going forward, I'd like to start paying attention to the steps or the decisions you make, because you're telling yourself one or more of the following things. That's how I've always done it. That's what I'm used to. That's what everyone expects from me. It's too late to learn something new. I'm not good enough or wise enough to do that. I need to know more. Those are all very good indications that you're working within your comfort zone, doing the things you've always done because that's how you thought they should be done. But maybe your comfort zone is like a house. It's your safe place. It's where you sleep, and it's where you spend a good amount of your time. Imagine how dull life would be if you spent all of it inside your home. What if you never ventured out and had fun and new experiences? You'd be missing out on a lot, wouldn't you? So we do need a safe space where we can relax and avoid feeling stressed and anxious, and that's okay. What we don't want to do is lock ourselves in that zone and throw away the key. And you know how many of our clients have done that since we've experienced COVID, for instance. So many people are stuck in their comfort zone because it's just easier. It's time to start talking about hacking the comfort zone and how, by doing so, not only you as a kinesiologist, but your clients can benefit. You free yourself, you grow yourself, and you be yourself, allowing yourself to become a conduit for change. And that is what I want to talk about today. When you expand yourself out of your comfort zone, you become this amazing channel for change because you've experienced it yourself. Now, the concept I like to use for a comfort zone is a bubble. We've crafted a bubble over time. We're perfectly happy in our little bubble, and it's made up of all our experiences, our beliefs, and our thoughts. And this bubble is something we've created. Now, what if I challenge you to burst it, to step out of it, and discover a bigger, more fulfilling bubble waiting for you? I often use this concept with my clients. I show them the bubble that they're in, and we start to create the new bubble that they want to be in. And this is how we work on hacking the comfort zone, is we first create the bubble that they want to go into, then we pop the small bubble that they're in. So this bubble is a space for you to grow, to expand, until you reach the outer edges of that bubble, where you are ready to pop it, because your face is so squeezed up against the side of the bubble, and you can't wait to get through it, but something is holding you back from bursting that bubble. You see, the essence of personal growth really lies in willingness to expand your boundaries. Okay, so I just want to say that again, your willingness to expand your boundaries. Most people say they can't. But as we all know, when somebody says they can't, it just means they won't. Right? So I don't know if your parents ever told you, but there is no such thing as can't. Maybe we can reassess what can't means for us. So there's an interesting connection between personal growth and self-confidence that I want to point out. So we all go through periods in our lives where self-esteem and our self-confidence is low. And that's a normal rhythmical thing that happens for us. In the lowest point of our self-confidence, the lack of self-confidence and self-esteem, that's where we find our new desires, and that's where we raise ourselves up and become a better version of ourselves. So we do need to go through those times. But it comes as no surprise, really, that hundreds of thousands and millions of books have been written about boosting your confidence. It's one of the biggest self-help niches. And then there's therapy and medicines that are supposed to help you feel better about yourself. There is a connection between growth and self-confidence. What if you could just listen to your soul calling you and step into unknown territory? Now, I want you to think back for a moment when you experienced a lot of self-growth and a boost in confidence. It doesn't really matter when it was or what it was. When you stepped out of your comfort zone and you said yes to something you were amazingly terrified of and embraced that realm of possibility, something interesting happened. Once you got through it, your self-confidence showed up, didn't it? There's something that makes this happen when we're scared and we do it anyway. So when was the last time you really challenged your status quo and asked yourself what your bubble looks like, or your current circumstances look like? What is the bubble that you want to be in? What if you could just burst where you're at? Can you remember what it felt like? Can you bottle this feeling when you did something that made you feel really confident and you were on a little high after it happened? Can you use that feeling in your visualizations? So you have taken a leap into the unknown before. You became a kinesiologist. You stepped out. Half of us didn't know what the heck it was. We just knew inside that this is what we had to do. You're doing it right now, sitting here on this conference, listening to new things, meeting new people, and you have faced your fears head on. And remember that this is the magic of leaving your comfort zone. When you left the magic of your old life in your comfort zone and became a kinesiologist, it was insanely uncomfortable. We had homework to do, we had classes to attend, we had new things to learn. Sometimes some of us believed we were too old, but we did it anyway. 6 years ago, I'd reached my limit and my bubble was very claustrophobic. I couldn't breathe and I was really, really scared. I was working an 8 to 5 corporate job in pharmaceuticals, and I just received my associate directorship and reached the glass ceiling for a woman in that industry, which is hard. I had a 2-hour commute each way, a toddler and 4 kids at home, and my husband had just been diagnosed with a visual disability and could no longer drive. So I'd literally reached my mid-40s. I was earning a beautiful, stable, reliable salary, and I felt like I was dying, and I had no way out of this hamster wheel. And that's where kinesiology came in, scooped me up, and saved me. I met Marcus van der Westhuizen. He became my kinesiologist. He taught me about podcasts and how to turn my car from a prison cell into a capsule of joy. This is where I was receiving from the Divine Daily. I was listening to Abraham Hicks. I was listening to all the new things. And I popped that bubble of limiting self-belief that this had to be my life. I saw the bigger bubble, which was me being a teacher of these things that I was learning and being able to share it with clients and mentoring people, me stepping into my deepest desires, calling in my heart to be of service. And my realm of possibility just opened up. I started making plans to exit my life, the life my soul could no longer endure. And I magically wrote down the dates and times of my classes for kinesiology as if they were the most important things in my life. And here I am now sitting a few years later, having seen hundreds of kinesiology clients, living and working in a very satisfying life, not just being a kinesiologist, but also having expanded out and, popped my comfort zone bubble many, many times, learning new things that I incorporate into my practice. I allowed myself 9 months to birth my new life once I'd made the decision, and I exited business and I exited corporate, and I became a really much greater version of me, and one that I never thought that I could dream of. Because you have a desire, you don't actually know what it's going to look like, but when you step out in trust into that thing, you never know how your life is going to turn out, and it surprises you every single time. Whenever you are terrified and scared and unsure, and people are going, what the heck are you doing? 9 times out of 10, it turns out to be the most amazing life path, signpost that could have ever come. I stepped into my own business and it really wasn't easy. I lost money. I went down to breadline earnings. I cut all the luxuries. I fell. I went through pain and shame and excitement and passion, and I cried and I woohooed and I danced. But I followed my heart and I became an artist and a singer, a songwriter. And I now mentor the most amazing humans in personal and business mentorship, where I've combined kinesiology with my own process of energy healing and psychology and human design and business knowledge. And so I have built a life that has become flexible, and I'm in my joy every single day. And there are ways of creating wealth by stepping out of your comfort zone, because when you follow your joy and inspirations, the money comes. If you follow a career just for the salary, it doesn't give you satisfaction, because your salary can increase as much as you like. I promise you, from somebody who is earning over R1 million a year to now a very different picture, it doesn't make you happy. You have to be happy first before the money comes. And so this is what stepping out of your comfort zone does for you. It puts you in the realm of things that make you happy, listening to your inner desires, and just popping your bubbles, making the potential to create larger ones. And once you burst the larger ones, you're into much bigger ones. You are constantly expanding. It starts with us. We, as kinesiologists, have to do the work. If we don't level up, we don't level up our clients. If we don't level up, we don't experience the magic of kinesiology because we stay in the same routine over and over again. You have to try new things. You have to make yourself insanely uncomfortable and open yourself up to clients that you never would have expected to see. So why must we deliberately pop these bubbles? Well, it's just the basic thing is the transformative power of growth. When we stretch beyond those bubbles, we have stretched beyond the limits that define us. We're not just saving ourselves from stagnation. We're actively choosing to evolve, to adapt, and to create a larger, more vibrant version of ourselves to become conduits for change. And the journey doesn't stop there. Our growth, our courage to step beyond the familiar doesn't just affect us. It radiates outwards. Just as we pop our bubbles to grow, we also become conduits for others to do the same. And so our bravery and our example encourages those around us to challenge their own confines, to embrace their own journeys of expansion. If your clients are not growing, you have to look within yourself. Where have you stagnated? Where do you need to open yourself up to life's magic? You know, the most likely thing that is holding you back is your feelings of unworthiness and not good enough, which can give rise to fear. And that's okay. Fear holds us back a lot. Fear itself, though, is what truly limits us. Fear of stepping into the unknown, of uncertainty. It's what keeps us trapped in our bubble. And while it's really healthy, because we do need to have fear to keep us alive and safe, at the most basic and primitive level, once you recognize this, once you see that fear is just a paper tiger with no real power, you're free to move beyond it. And the more you face it and the more you pop it, the easier it becomes. So what bubble are you going to pop right now? Let's just close our eyes and think about where we have not grown and where we feel stuck and where there's some deep desires just percolating and wanting to come up. What bubble do you need to pop to bring those out? You know, is it because you're afraid of what you might become? Are you afraid of who might call you out? What others expect from you? Why are we so afraid of our own light? Why do we hide what we really want for ourselves? Here's the secret sauce. Moving beyond your comfort zone is not just necessary. It's where the magic happens. See, even my dog agrees. As children, we used to find joy in exploration and in discovering new things. And it's time to recapture that sense of wonder, the thrill of the unknown, the actual journey and the adventure of life. Just moving beyond your comfort zone can be fun and it can be surprisingly easy once you shed that weight of all that heavy baggage that you carry around with you, all the beliefs and things about yourself, where you should be, what you should be, how people want you to be. And I invite each one of you to start believing in the magic of stepping outside your comfort zone. Embrace the discomfort. We truly grow exponentially when we embrace that discomfort, because on the other side of it lies that beautiful world where we thrive, where your potential is fully realized. So I just want to circle back to the bubble analogy. How do you bust out of the comfort bubble? And this is the exercise we do with our clients too. We need to imagine it, right? We need to know what can it look like? What can it smell like, feel like? You know, what will you be doing in your new bubble? You need to be able to create and pull from the ethers a visual image that you can pull yourself into. If you're afraid, just try something small. Just dip your toe in. Just stick your toe into something new that you haven't done before. If you've been craving to do something creative, do that. Say yes and learn as you go. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure if you can do it, say yes. Then learn how to do it later. It's okay. We so often get stuck with this idea of perfection. We think we must know everything there's to know about something before we get started. Guess what happens? Nobody starts anything. We fear we'll need to know how to do a job before we can take it. No. You can learn while you're doing it. Yet, if you remember how you learned as a child, you didn't take a class to go walking or riding a bike. Instead, you gave it a try and learned as you went. Just break it down into baby steps. Take it one little step, one little task, one little action item at a time. And if you have a big dream, make sure you take one baby step towards that every single day, even if it is just saying an affirmation to yourself. What can be really powerful too is us as kinesiologists can hold each other accountable. Pick a buddy. The power of accountability is massive. If you tell a friend what you want to accomplish, that is really powerful too. And so it's important to surround yourself with people who believe in you until you can. Find a don't quit buddy. Someone who can support you when you're just about to hit the top of the mountain and ready to turn around and can't bust through the last bit. You don't have to do it alone. So I just want to leave you with this thought. Embrace the art of bursting through your confines. And not only will you save your life save yourself from a life of stagnation, but you'll also actively contribute to the growth of those around you. It does start with you. Pop all those bubbles where you felt claustrophobic. So let's pop some bubbles. Let's save ourselves. Let's grow ourselves. And most importantly, let's be the fullest expression of ourselves. Fully, fearlessly, and fantastically alive. I hope that you've enjoyed this talk, and I look forward to hearing about your comfort zone busting. So if you need an accountability buddy, or you just want to go, oh, I can't do this, I'm here. Just connect with me on Facebook. We can have a chat, no problem. I'm always chatting to other kinesiologists to see how we can all grow and expand. And I look forward to connecting with you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me.